What's up, guys? Today we have Nick Fuentes against a panel of feminists, anarchists, and a trans person. And the topic of the debate is transgenderism.
You're letting guys compete against women in sports, taking away scholarships. You think that's okay? You don't think that's a war on women?
So no one's taking away
I do
scholarships.
think
This is a totally different debate. Just go watch that other debate.
It's about a war on women, Brenton. So if you're letting guys take a pill that says that they're having a hormone therapy, and then they get to compete against women, look at Leah Thomas, ranked 457, then became the number one NCAA ranked swimmer in.
How are you still stuck on this?
Wait, hold on. But
because that is a war on women, Brenton. All we're talking about is birth rate.
Yeah,
when I'm trying to bring up concrete examples of how there is a war on women, and I'm conservative, and normally I probably wouldn't agree with that, but I think it's very obvious when you're letting trans people compete against biological females. Men, we already talked about the strength. Men have much more strength than women, so it's unfair. That is a disadvantage for women in sports, that they're probably going to lose their scholarship, and then if they speak out against it, they can lose their scholarship. So not only is there a war physically in the sport, they're muted. They're Orwellian in society. They can't even speak about it. So yeah, I think there's a war on women from competing and speaking out against the trans movement.
Yeah, and Brenton,
I would
to
say,
be fair, go ahead, Stardust. I'm sorry.
well, I was just going to say that Doobie said earlier that I think Doobie put it really well, that, you know, there is some level of an attack on the identity of a woman from both sides of the political sphere. And I think it's wise for us to at least acknowledge that there's at least a little bit of that.
Yeah, I don't think
other people
we gain anything by
existing
shutting
isn't
down.
So
enough.
I win the debate.
It is totally within the scope of the war on women, quote unquote, right? Like the attack, if there is an attack on the concept of womanhood that comes from some people on the left, right? I think we need to acknowledge that, and I think dismissing it or trying to shut it down is really unproductive.
No one is attacking a concept of womanhood. What's happening is that womanhood is being
What are you talking
expanded.
about? Yes, they are. Yes, they are. They're saying biological men with a penis can be a woman. You're saying gender.
my
You
God.
think, because you don't believe in biology.
Yes,
Well,
I believe
I'm just
in.
saying,
I believe in
because you're
science.
not based in reality. That's not science. Science is a
It
testicle
literally
and
is.
dick. A testicle and dick. That's science.
This is
All right,
such
I
a
hate doing
weirdo.
this, but I got it the same way I give you a chance, Alex. I got to give Brenton a chance to quick respond.
Yeah. Okay, so we are not destroying, in just the same way that gay marriage does not threaten straight marriage, trans women do not threaten regular women. We are expanding a concept to fit with a changing world. Now, this has affected ways that we run sports in a number of ways. It's also affected ideas like, how do you handle bathrooms? These are questions that we need to answer coming forward, but it is not going to do any good to anyone for us to simply act like this is a zero-sum game between womanhood. Just because a woman can become a man after HRT and is treated like one, that doesn't hurt me as a man. It doesn't hurt anybody here.
What the fuck did you just say? A woman can become a man after HRT? What a delusional
Here. And
Brenton,
similarly,
it
doesn't
hurts. It hurts. If you let a lesbian with a penis go into the women's locker room, that hurts him because they can sexually oogle women. And that is a real thing. Trans women that still have a dick, just like Leah Thomas, going in the women's locker room and changing, that is a war on women. That's disgusting.
Dude, this is
Men should
just
not be allowed
you.
to go in there.
This is just
this
you,
is
Alex.
This is a
Wait
huge
a minute. I think we can say that so I would make the statement, I personally believe that trans women, yes, are women, but there are still issues that affect biological women in a unique way.
Can a trans woman have a period? Can a trans woman get pregnant?
I'm not disagreeing. Alex, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. Okay, so there are ways in which biological women still have unique issues that they face that trans women don't. And yes, there's a biological advantage that some trans women have over biological women, right? So I think it's important for us to acknowledge that. I don't understand the whole discourse about trying to say it's exactly the same. We know it's not the exact same experience, right?
No one's saying it's exactly the same. When people say trans women are women, what they're saying is that trans women should be considered women within our society.
Yes, and they are, and I agree with that. So I think trans women should be considered women, but I think
trans women, whatever the fuck you mean by that, will never, ever, ever be women. And what's crazy to me is that a lot of women, real women, support this. Like, do you understand? This literally goes against you. Why do you do that? Guys, let me know in the comments what you think, because this is so weird.
With any other group of women, we also can acknowledge that there are different realities based on your biological makeup, based on the life that you lived, and so there are different categories within women that are going to affect certain women differently, and there are ways that biological women are going to be affected by certain
you just
things.
said there's multiple realities. That's not real. There's not multiple realities.
Okay, maybe I phrased it wrong. I could have phrased it wrong. I'm so sorry.
And Iron Man and all that is one reality. Okay,
as
a man's world.
Is it okay?
Bitch.
Because Brenton, I think
Stardust.
Yeah. Brenton, I think
everybody's saying about the way I'm saying women. I'm saying it the right way.
You're saying
Stop
woman.
It's women.
You're saying woman, but
women.
like it's plural.
You want me to say women? I can say women, but
women is the plural of
person. Hold on, but Brenton, I think dismissing this is like.
Wait, I want to jump in here on the question of here's why that matters. It's because, you know, if we were all in a room together, I think Alex is the biggest one here. It's like we could elect a leader amongst us or something, but if Alex is the biggest one in the room, and the leader, whoever said, well, hey, I think it should be this way, you know, Alex could just like get a big rock and smash it over the other person's head, and that's a definition of power. And the thing is, most interactions in society it's not a warfare scenario where there's arms. You know, most domestic scenes and most workplace scenes, and physical intimidation, it works with strength and size. And and the other thing too is that men are smarter. So, and from that proceeds, by the way, from that proceeds the relative roles, not necessarily. From that proceeds the roles of men and women, but it also indicates something about men and women, which is that men and women are fundamentally different. And I think that maybe one of the big differences in our worldview is that I am not an individualist. I don't believe in this abstraction of the individual, which is sort of sexless, raceless, who should have rights and get to say what they want to do in society. Because it's really not an individual.
I'm literally an anarcho-communist. I am not an individualist.
Okay, well, Destiny is, and I think the trans person is individualist as well. And this presupposes that there's not fundamental differences between men and women, and then as a consequence, they have to be treated differently. Everything about them is different. These are essential differences. And so to say that we're just going to say, oh, men and women are just going to have the same roles and men can become women and women can become men, it is a fundamental misunderstanding of the composition.
So where are the essential
of
differences?
Well, I would just say, I disagree. I think just because men.
I'll give you a really quick and pithy one, Stardust, and then just in case anybody hasn't spoken for a while, Marie and April. Okay. Go ahead, Stardust.
All right. So just because men and a woman may have inherent differences in what they do and what they gravitate to doesn't mean that we don't create a society where anybody can choose to go outside of that role if they feel the need to, if they feel like their calling is outside of that role. And I also wanted to touch on one subject. Doobie brought it up very briefly, but the idea of passing I thought was really interesting, because I feel that there are a lot of trans women who pass better than cis women, especially just with the way that norms are and the beauty standards that we have and stuff like that. And so I thought that was a very interesting point. I know a lot of cis women who feel.
The fuck is cis? So I just looked it up, and apparently cis women means women, like biological women. They tried to change the entire dictionary just to fit their own false narratives. And that's what they're trying to do. They try to destroy every meaning. So what is a woman now? If it's cis women, trans women, like, that's ridiculous.
That they don't pass as well as a lot of trans women. So.
Yeah. Brendan, are you bisexual? Is that true that you're bisexual, Brendan?
Why does that matter? Why is it relevant?
So which sex do you like? Which sex would you rather have sex with?
Why is it relevant to the conversation?
It's a good question.
But who do you prefer to have sex with, men or women?
Alex, when you jerked off last,
I prefer to have sex with multiple people at once. So yeah.
Ah, gross. So much information.
Multiple dudes.
No, if we're getting
he just said he just said he jerks off to the WNBA.
Are you worried about monkeypox? At least it's
women. Last time you jerked off, like which page of the Bible were you looking at?
When I cranked it, I was watching the WNBA. I was watching the Liberty.
Okay, that's actually based.
Yeah, I was looking at AOC, my favorite big booty Latina.
It's just.
I think the best meme
Like
is hey, listen,
But
when a Pizza
Brenton-
Hut closed down and they tried to put a Chinese restaurant in it, everybody
Not
knows it's
that
still a
meme,
Pizza
please.
Hut. So, you know, some things can only change so much. You're always going to know.
God.
And then when you show
Are
up
we
and try
doing
to
closing
order a Pizza
statements?
Hut at the Wendy's, like you look like a fucking idiot, right? Like I
Okay, Doobie, you're just annoyed. Are you trans or something? Why are you so mad
No,
about
I'm not-
this?
I'm not
Why are you
mad. I'm
constantly
sorry. I'm
attacking
not
people
mad.
personally?
I'm not. I'm just wondering why
I'm
Doobie's
okay
so
with him
mad at me.
personally
I'm
attacking
talking
Look,
about the
Alex
girl
is the
on
most
Twitter.
emotional person
I love
on
and
this
respect
panel.
him.
Okay.
I wear my
Turned into
heart
a
on my
fucking goblin
sleeve.
during our
I wear my
last
heart on my
debate.
sleeve. I'm an
When I love and
emotional person.
respect
Don't ever
people,
tell me that
I
women
attack them
are more
personally, so
emotional than men again because Alex is here. Okay.
That's
So.
true. I'm so
Any last
emotional.
thoughts?
Oh my God, the war on women. I agree with you.
Any last thoughts? Anybody else?
Last thoughts.
Can Doobie talk?
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. Am I allowed to say this?
No, you're a woman. You're not allowed
I
to
give
say
you
shit.
permission.
Go ahead,
I
let
give
it
you
rip.
permission.
Okay. So there's
You
been
can
a
have
meme going
permission, yeah,
around
you're right.
on Twitter that everybody calls me white. So I just want to say I'm the new savior of the white race.
No.
So just want to let you guys know I have taken the crown. It's my thing now. So yeah.
You got it.
You're
great
not
white
white.
hope.
You're brown.
No shit, Alex.
I am the new savior.
that was
Okay.
Nick.
Oh,
All
but Nick
white
was
men
never
should
dirty.
aspire to be like me, okay?
It's a great white hope.
I'm just letting you know I have taken it, Nick. You can try and challenge for it, but it's gone. It's not yours anymore. I have
All
the
right.
crown. I am the
But sir-
savior.
We'll jump over.
All
Are
right.
you trans,
I like that.
Stardust?
I like
Are you a
that look in
biological
your
woman
eye.
or are you
I'll take it from
trans?
you.
All right.
I am a cis woman.
Oh, you
I
sure?
know, I get it. I
Go
look
ahead,
very
April.
masculine. You know,
could've
maybe
fooled
this
me.
is why
All
this
right, enough before
topic,
start.
you know,
April.
anyways.
Yes, middle guy. What's up?
Any last thoughts before we do go into Q&A?
Yeah, I mean, there's some really interesting studies on like the values of men and women. Fairman et al., Sue et al., Dykeman et al. And women are more likely to endorse communal, group-serving, people-oriented values. And, you know, I think that's why people like Nick are ultimately endorsing a feminine ideology, one that is not.
So this guy is a man, okay? This is a trans, whatever the fuck they call it.
Not very individualistic or competitive or masculine, but one that just basically like, I don't know, gives handouts to the people who are not succeeding.
What?
So
I'm not talking about
that's
handouts.
all I gotta say.
Anybody
And
else?
blames the failings of men on women. Yeah, women are succeeding, and
I
I'm
didn't
not.
blame it on women. I
And-
blamed it on
and
other
I'm not
people.
married.
And
I'm
then
not
I got
married. And I
yelled
don't have
at.
kids, and et cetera, et cetera. And it must be because women are pushing me down. The patriarchy has been dismantled. Now the matriarchy is forcing me into my room to yell at women all day on the internet. Like it seems. I don't know. It does seem pretty feminine.
Yeah, except
we're gonna
that's
go
not
by,
what's
like,
happening.
you know,
Except that's not what's
traditional
happening. I said who
Blaming
I
it
thought was
on another
responsible,
minority
and
is
then
also
everybody yelled at
feminine.
me. and
Well,
said,
Nick, why?
Oh, you can say that on Twitch. You can say that on YouTube. That's
Like Nick,
Look, I'm just saying that all white men aspire to be what I am. So, you know, that's
You wish.
It's true. That's
generally what it is.
that
Yeah.
Paku look in your eyes. You know, if more men had that, I think we'd have a different kind of movement. But yeah, and my closing thoughts on this whole deal. I mean, look, it's just reality. We're talking about men and women. We all know what men and women are about. If you know, we all have moms. We all know women in a peer relationship, siblings, friends in school. We know men and we know women, and we know what they're like, and we know where they should be. And women belong as mothers in the home raising their babies. And if they want to take on some little task, they want to, you know, help a man with a research paper, or, you know, their husband or something like that, or pick up the phones, I think that's fine. But we need to restore gender roles. We need to have gender segregation. We need to allow men and women to thrive in their separate domains. And we need to cease the elevation of women in these roles where they don't belong at the expense of men. It's killing society. And you could see that in the, I mean, this is just a contributing factor, but the decline in the fertility rate, as well as a number of problems between men and women, within men and women. And on some level, we all understand that feminism is the real enemy. Feminism sort of goes hand in hand with modernity, which is poison. So I would
Says
say
the
that
incel with no family, no wife, no kid.
Move on.
That's right.
You have no room
All
to
right,
talk
any
on any of
last
these
words?
issues.
Anyone else?
Absolutely, I do. I'm a
Can I
theorist.
disagree?
I'm a social
I would like to
theorist and a
disagree with
genius.
his
Social
statement
theorist,
about
you're a
feminism.
You're a fat bisexual with a Ukraine
I hate to
pendant
do
on,
it, Stardust, but
and
just
you look
because they're only
homeless. You don't have right to talk about anything.
Brent,
Yes. So guys, let me know in the comments what you think. If you agree or disagree with Nick, leave a like if you want to. Christ is King, and God bless.